of the problems. So this plan that Congressman Price has suggested, has presented, says, well, we'll still cover those pre-existing conditions, but you're going to get like a tax credit. And, oh, wait, stand by. Here's Mitt Romney.
Another discussion about affairs throughout the world, and these discussions I've had with him have been enlightening and interesting and engaging. I've enjoyed them very, very much. I was also very impressed by the remarks he made on his victory night. By the way, it's not easy winning. I know that myself. He did something I tried to do and was unsuccessful in accomplishing. He won the general election. And he continues with a message of inclusion and bringing people together. And his vision is something which obviously connected with the American people in a very powerful way. The last few weeks, he's been carrying out a transition effort. And I have to tell you, I've been impressed by what I've seen in the transition effort. The people he selected as members of his cabinet are solid, effective, capable people. Some of them I know very well. Nikki Haley and I go way back. She's an outspoken, strong, powerful leader. Tom Price is someone who actually came to my office before he'd run for Senate, and we spent time talking about health care. What an expert and solid thinker in that arena, and others. Jeff Sessions was someone who I knew through my campaigns, helped me very early on. He has a distinguished record in the Senate, and of course many others, Betsy DeVos, and a long list of people. Very impressive individuals. I happen to think that America's best days are ahead of us. I think you're going to see America continue to lead the world in this century. And what I've seen through these discussions I've had with President-elect Trump, as well as what we've seen in his speech at the night of his victory, as well as the people he's selected as part of this transition, all of those things combined give me increasing hope that President-elect Trump is the very man who can lead us to that better future. Thank you.
Are you guys on the same page with Russia? Do you still think he's dangerous?
Secretary of State?
Do you still think he's a phony, Governor Romney? Governor, who paid for dinner?
What a difference. What a difference a year makes. In March of, 2016, Mitt Romney just savaged Donald Trump right before that third Fox News debate that we held at the Detroit Theater in Michigan, Romney's original home state. And tonight you heard a very different tone, as so often happens in politics. I want to bring back in our guests here and just switch the topic up, guys, because we want to talk about Obamacare. But Mitt Romney sounds very different tonight, Matt, than we ever heard him sound before. And the question is whether that is the prelude to a cabinet appointment, in your view, for him.
Yeah, it's a good question. Look, Mitt Romney is a class act. He has been comporting himself that way since the election. And it's no surprise that he is making himself available to the president-elect, despite the fact that, as you point out, he made very, very clear what he thinks of Donald Trump, what he thought of him as a candidate, and what he thought of him as a potential president. But he's a guy that believes that if he can help the country by serving Secretary of State, he should do that. And I commend him for it. I can tell you this. A lot of Democrats are rooting for him to get that job because he's a stable and known quantity, and I think that would be a good face for us to the world.
Anthony, so the argument is that Mitt Romney could go in there and be sort of the good cop, as opposed to the bad cop elements already chosen by Team Trump, meaning the guys who are, rough and tumble and ready to shake up some feathers, and Romney's a little bit more, as Matt points out, stable. But you heard Newt Gingrich's objections to him, Rudy Giuliani's, Kellyanne Conway's. Does he have a chance, in your view?
Well, he certainly has a chance because he obviously wouldn't be at the dinner if he didn't, Megan. But what I love about Governor Romney, he is a unbelievable organized guy, and so he would do a great job inside the State Department, which needs a lot of work. We've misplaced $6 billion. Now, having said that, there are other candidates that are being looked at, and what I have to respect about the president-elect, he has really taken this process very, very seriously, where he is looking at it the way a CEO would, and he's bringing on 5 or 6 really well-qualified candidates. And so what you saw there, though, I just would say that if we were back in the day with Instagram and Twitter, and we saw what William Seward said about Abraham Lincoln, it was probably even more difficult than the words that Governor Romney mentioned back in March. So I'm glad these guys are coming together. They're both great Americans, and we need to unite as a party, but also as a country.
All right, guys, we will hold our Obamacare repeal and replace discussion for another night, and because there's a lot going on there too, and we'll see what Tom Price does if he gets confirmed as HHS Secretary. Great to see you both. Thank you.
Good to be here, Megan. Thanks.
Well, also tonight, breaking news on the attack at Ohio State University. Next. Don't go away.